Anyways, so that's where this guy comes in as well. Here's Rusty Trombone doing the nose check. So if you'll recall, when Epstein died, this picture made a lot of its way around the internet. And this is the corpse, and this is Jeffrey Epstein, and this is the corpse, and this is Jeffrey Epstein. And this line here, and this is what Vinny was talking about with the hook nose thing the other day, is that the nose on the corpse seems rounded, more so than Epstein's nose, which he had fixed, is the theory. So they think he swapped out a dead guy for himself, and that's how he wasn't even in jail, that he left and they hung some other dude, or that dude killed himself rather than have his family killed, or they got $1 billion or whatever the shit.
Oh my God.
No way.
Oh, I didn't expect that.
Oh,
that's good stuff. Someone's hacked the Elmo account. Okay, release the files, Donald. Oh my God.
It's a little rough to read when you're still on his side, isn't it, Rusty?
That's what I like about the internet. That's the kind of radicalism that I enjoy. That's the way to make an impactful post. 2 hours after Jeffrey Epstein's body was found,
I don't know what the fuck the edits are in this one. Just choppy as shit. Are they just trying to slash together anything just to make it... Is this what it takes to squeeze like some entertainment out of like however long his fucking broadcasts
message was posted on 8chan from inside the Met Correctional Centre. Not saying anything after this. Please do not try to dox me. But last night, after the 4:15 count, they took him, Epstein, to medical in a wheelchair, front cuffed, but not one triage nurse said they spoke to him. Next thing we know, Trip Van shows up. We do not do releases on the weekends unless a judge orders it. Next thing we know, he's put in a single man cell and hangs himself. Here's the thing. The Trip Van did not sign in, and we did not record the plate number, and a guy in a green dress military outfit was in the back of the van, according to the tower guy who let him through the gate. You guys, I'm shaking right now, but I think they switched him out now. This could be, of course, fraudulent. There's like some comparisons of their face.
Yeah, and so this is him going through all the shit about the faked death stuff that went out around the time that he died.
I thought that was quite interesting. I thought that was pretty interesting. I know that that's sort of pretty inconclusive. And also, someone suggested, just to check the legitimacy of that post, look at the IP address? That would identify. Has someone done that? I wonder. It's interesting, isn't it? In a world where someone can hack their way into Elmo's account and post that, it's very difficult to control the narrative. And so I suppose in the end, authenticity...
Sorry, is that the goal? Controlling the narrative? Or is he saying Trump is going to have a hard time controlling the narrative when the truth just keeps seeping out?
And truth are going to be the only solution. Here's Dave Smith. The cover-up of Jeffrey Epstein is worse than the cover-up of Biden's dementia. It's an interesting take.
Interesting take. Let me guess, he's going to distract into... the
Biden's White House doctor Kevin O'Connor pleads the fifth to all questions at his deposition.
No, I think he pled physician-client, physician-patient confidentiality and the fifth.
About his
to everything.
The advice of counsel, I must respectfully decline to answer based on the physician-patient privilege and reliance on my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. I am not a lawyer, and I must follow my lawyer's advice in this matter.
So, gentlemen, we intend to assert both privileges with regard to any questions that would be asked at...
Yeah, where are all the HIPAA folks from COVID all of a sudden? All the right-wing HIPAA people, right?
At this deposition. And Dr. O'Connor will not answer any questions.
That's interesting, man. That's interesting. But...
It's also interesting that you think post-presidency would have to answer anything at all. I mean, if you see anything that he did while he was in office, something that he, actively did that, he put the wrong date on the wrong form when he was signing it and retroactively cost the country $1 billion or some shit like that, make that case. But you don't have any of that. You just don't like what he did.
I mean, this is one of those ones where the news cycle moves so quickly that...
Yeah, whose fault is that?
I can't. I was dealing with that when it was happening. This is. There must be some sort of trickle-down effect of news and information, mustn't there? Even prior to the debate that ultimately led to his replacement, people were talking the whole time about Biden's mental decay.
Yeah, you guys were.
All the time. That's all
Yeah, the rest of us were fine.
that was happening in these kind of spaces. This guy can't be president. Look at him. He's just walked off into a bush. Where's he going now? What's he saying? What's that? I think he just pooed himself. That was what was happening.
Yeah, he didn't poo himself and he didn't walk off into a bush. Meanwhile, there were stories of Trump actually shitting himself from people around him, and you ignored them.
All the time. So, like now, still talking about it, it seems exhausting. And I think that contributes to the lack of accountability. And
How can he be held accountable? He's not president anymore. He's not making any decisions while he's allegedly demented. Trump is. Trump's brain is potato salad right now. He just said his uncle taught the Unabomber and that they had a conversation about it, which he didn't on both counts.
again, to my point, it's the systems themselves that are changing.
Yeah, I think you have to settle it that it is what you think it is, that there is corruption.
Yeah.
They're not telling us the truth. And so now what do we do about it?
I'll tell you what you're going to do about it. You're going to continue to gargle Trump's balls. Honestly, that's all you're going to do. Only you're going to do it under the guise of newfound Christianity.
Yeah.
Because we can just keep talking about it over and over again.
Yeah, man, that's what's happening to us. I mean, that's why I think that I want to pivot to talking about the eternal and the eternal values and the solution. The challenge is these spaces, it seems, demand that we continually talk about the fast news cycle.
Sorry, you hitched your wagon to Trump, and it is going far too fast for you to unhook it. Also, you ever notice Glenn Beck did this shit too? That whenever the heat gets too hot and there's a fire in the fucking kitchen, these guys are like, you know what? News cycle, I can't deal with these stories, right? This is too much. It's not that important. Are we really talking about the important things in life? I need to talk about my relationship with our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. It is the cheapest, laziest fucking out. Motherfucker, you chose this as your job. Get at it and stop bitching about it.
That you will surely have by now observed is cyclical and repetitive, even now.
Repetitive.
It's different.
You know there's a lot of other consonants in that word, just saying.
Dynamics have shifted somewhat because up until now, it was, all the way back.
What the fuck are you doing with, prayer beads? Like Buddhist prayer beads? I thought you were a Christian.
To Bush, like we'd had Obama, and it just feels like it was Democrats for a long, long time, doesn't it? It just seems like it was for a long, long time Democrats. And what I was going through then is, hold on, these are meant to be the goodies. These are meant to be the goodies. Why are they, every decision they're making, biased towards institutional power, global corporatism? This was before...
What, you mean like the ACA?
Wokeism really kicked in, and they started to sort of shift the cultural values and make claims of moral credibility that were always dubious and based on expedience, i.e. they don't really care about the vulnerable ethnic group.
Which is exactly what a Christian would say about someone else, that they would immediately look at the behavior of these people, like passing an infrastructure bill that removes all the lead pipes in the country so that generations will not be affected by brain injury caused by, a proliferation of lead in the water system that is largely hurting poor people. That's what you would do, is those people finally get around to doing that. Actually fucking doing something about it, and you would go, I don't trust their motives. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, you got to give it to him. He's a lot of fun, isn't he? I mean, sure, he's a rapist, and he brags about it, and he talks about the floor of women he'd have sex is 12. He's a Christian Freemason? Rusty's not a Freemason. As a Freemason, I'm telling you, Rusty is not a Freemason.
Groups, in the same way they don't care about the vulnerable during a pandemic. They just use the vulnerable to legitimize authority. That's what was going on. Anyway, that's when I was undertaking a different set of allegiances, shall we say. I was anti-establishment then, I'm anti-establishment now.
What the fuck do you mean? I hear this a lot. Anti-establishment. What do you mean? The established system of government that we have that's democratic? I mean, I understand being anti-establishment if the establishment is a monarchy. You live in England. It's a monarchy. do something about it or shut the fuck up. We fought a war over it. And as messy as it is, we don't have an establishment. We get to change our leaders. And anybody who says we don't and it's always the same is somebody who voted for Trump twice.
Ow. That's
And Bush.
basically, so I don't feel like really I've changed at all. In some senses, I've just like migrated to another country and to recognizing that you're probably better off if one political leader and one political party is in general deriving its moral positions from something like, in this instance, literally Christianity. But when we're at...
Like who, you dumb motherfucker? Biden was a Catholic. He went to fucking church every Sunday. He was an active Catholic. Trump, the last time he held a Bible, he held it upside fucking down. And I'm not even sure it was a real Bible. It was probably a hymnal. We have no way of knowing. We just know it was upside down.
I went at Turning Point, as I mentioned, and the main point I wanted to talk about was, well, look, these are political parties. Unless something radical happens, like we're not going to accept donations no more and lobbying is banned, then you're going to get radical change immediately. So if there was going to be a third party or a radical shifting of either of the main parties in your country or mine, that's the kind of shift that would make a difference. And if you don't get that, there's a reason for it. It's because they want...
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I got caught up in the fact that you were talking about the two-party system and whether the third party would be able to, have any, responsibility and, gathering these things together, all the difficulties, right? I thought, getting mucked up about it, right? Getting all mucked up about it, right? I got caught up in that and I forgot that you were just covering for the fact that fucking Trump is in the Epstein files and you backed him and you're still backing him. Stop with the bullshit faux Christianity when you are supporting Jeffrey Epstein's wingman. Fucknut.
That conduit of power to remain in place. And that's not as sexy or as intriguing as the Epstein files, but it reveals.
Sexy and intriguing are not words I would use when talking about the Epstein files. Only somebody who has 4 rape cases in 2 different countries would use the word sexy and intriguing when discussing the Jeffrey Epstein files.
A similar thing. It reveals a similar thing. That's what I think, though. Let me know what you guys think.
No. So this is the other thing. This is like comment farming is now the nature of that show.